สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
Good morning everyone and welcome to the Dhamma Media channel of the Dhammakaya Foundation. Most people prefer to call it the DMC channel.
Yes. On Sundays at 4 a.m. Charanpon Rajan or Chana and I, Narupon Jantra Kunsili, volunteer to play host for Meditation for Peace, which is one of the DMC's programs conducted in English, especially for viewers who are non-Thai or the Thai people living overseas.
Yes. Venerable Mundri Sutapaso established this program in 2005 with great support from Venerable Nicholas Thanisaro and Kun Kasem Suppamonsathi.
I remember Kun Vichuda Sotalanan and you were the first MC team.
Yes, and you've come to join us since 2 years ago.
Yes, in 2009, and I'm pleased to be able to work with you who always support me with my performance.
And the reason for us making this program is that we want to be able to help our beloved Luang Por Thamaschayo spread the teachings of the Buddha as a token of our appreciation. Without him teaching us the Dhammakaya knowledge, we couldn't have been mature in the Dhamma of the Exalted One.
Yes, as it was said before that the Buddha's teachings make everyone be a better person. If Buddhists understand and practice the Buddha's teaching, there would be good Buddhists. Luang Por teaches us to be true to ourselves and be true to Dhamma.
The words of the great master of Vichya Dhammakaya, Luang Por Wat Pak Nam, were said at the international ordination scene. Dhamma is forthright. It can be seen and known only by the forthright. Now, are you ready to accept this challenge?
ให้นั่งขัดสมาธิโดยเอาขาขวาทับขาซ้ายมือขวาทับมือซ้ายให้นิ้วชี้ของมือข้างขวาจรดนิ้วหัวแม่มือข้างซ้ายวางไว้บนหน้าตักพอสบายหลับตาของเราเบาๆค่อนลูกพอสบายคล้ายๆกับตอนที่เราใกล้จะหลับอย่าไปบีบเปลือกตาอย่ากดลูกในตานะจ๊ะแล้วก็ทำใจของเราให้เบิกบานให้แจ่มชื่นให้สะอาดบริสุทธิ์ผ่องใสไร้กังวลในทุกสิ่งไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องอะไรก็ตามให้ปลดให้ปล่อยให้วางทำใจให้ว่างๆการน้อมเข้ามาตั้งที่ฐานที่7มันง่ายนึกนิดเดียวกันนั่นเองไม่ต้องเยอะนึกแผ่วๆเหมือนเป็นสำนึกลึกๆของความนึกคิดเท่านั้นแหละมันก็ลงมาแล้วที่ฐานที่7ลงมาที่ฐานที่7เลยแล้วหลังจากนั้นน่ะใจของเราจะหยุดนิ่งๆอยู่ที่กลางจุดใสๆนิ่งเรื่อยไปเลยนิ่งอย่างสบายๆต้องสบายนะลูกนะแต่บางท่านยังทำไม่ได้ก็ได้เริ่มวางใจณจุดที่เรามีความรู้สึกว่าสบายไปก่อนซึ่งจะเป็นตรงไหนก็ได้โดยไม่คำนึงถึงฐานที่7แล้วก็เริ่มรู้สึกว่ามันสบายเริ่มรู้สึกว่ามันง่ายความสุขที่ได้จากสมาธิเราก็ค่อยๆได้สัมผัสคือเริ่มรู้สึกว่า ตัวที่ทึบๆหนาๆเนี่ยมันเริ่มโปร่งเริ่มโล่งเริ่มว่างๆเริ่มเคว้งคว้างแหละเหมือนอยู่กลางอวกาศบางท่านตัวหายไปเลยเหมือนไม่มีตัวมีแต่ความรู้สึกของใจบางคนก็ไม่รู้ว่าจะทำอย่างไรเมื่อเจอภาวะโล่งๆว่างๆตัวหายไปสิ่งที่ควรจะต้องทำคือใจสบายอยู่ตรงไหนก็เอาตรงนั้นแหละไปก่อนแล้วพอมันถูกส่วนสมบูรณ์ 100% แล้วเนี่ยเราค่อยนึกน้อมกลับเข้ามาหรือจะมีเครื่องหมายที่ใสๆและขนาดปลายเข็มก็มีขนาดดวงดาวในอากาศก็มีจะปรากฏเกิดขึ้นตรงที่ใจเราหยุดนิ่งเราก็จับภาพนั้นคือดูไปเฉยๆดูเผินๆอย่าถึงกับจ้องนะจ๊ะคือจะว่าดูก็ไม่เชิงจะว่าไม่ดูก็ไม่ใช่มันอยู่ระหว่างกลางๆถ้าหากเราดูเป็นคืออยู่ระหว่างกลางจริงๆจุดใสๆนั้นมันจะนิ่งแต่ถ้าเราตั้งใจมากเกินไปมันจะหายแต่ถ้าเผลอก็หายอีกเหมือนกันจ้องก็ไม่ได้จ้องก็หายเผลอก็หายไอ้ตรงความพอดีตรงนี้แหละเราต้องทำให้ได้ด้วยวิธีคือนิ่งเฉยๆไม่ต้องทำอะไรไม่ต้องตั้งคำถามในใจไม่ให้มีข้อสงสัยใดๆทั้งสิ้นเหมือนตัวเราเป็นหุ่นยนต์ที่ไม่มีมันสมองนะคิดไม่เป็นหรือไม่มีความคิดคิดไม่เป็นหรือไม่มีความคิดต้องทำอย่างนี้นะลูกนะคิดไม่เป็นคิดไม่เป็นเนี่ยใช้ได้ตลอดเลยเพราะว่าการศึกษาความรู้ภายในนั่นน่ะมันเลยขั้นระบบของความคิดมันไม่ต้องใช้ความคิดเลยมันเป็นความรู้ที่เกิดจากความไม่คิดคือจิตมันหยุดนิ่งๆบริสุทธิ์แล้วก็สว่างแล้วก็เห็นแล้วก็รู้มันอย่างนี้นะจ๊ะมันแตกต่างจากที่เราเคยเรียนรู้มาต้องฟังต้องอ่านต้องคิดต้องเขียนแต่นี่มันไม่ใช่มันเป็นความรู้ที่เกิดจากหยุดกันนิ่งที่คิดไม่เป็นไม่มีความคิดเลยใจมันจะปลอดความคิดจิตมันจะหยุดนิ่งๆความรู้อย่างนี้เขาเรียกว่าภาวนามยปัญญาความรู้ที่เกิดจากหยุดกันนิ่งแล้วก็สว่างเห็นแล้วก็รู้นี่เราต้องเข้าใจกระบวนการตรงนี้ซะก่อนเห็นไหมเจ้าว่าเรารู้นะเรื่องหลักวิชาแล้ววิธีนึกก็สอนหมดแล้วนะให้เบาๆสบายๆนั่งให้ดีนะลูกนะ
When established in the foundation of mindfulness, we will gradually experience an increasing beneficial result. Join us in Meditation for Peace every Sunday morning on this DMC channel to gain such benefit.
Yes. In the Buddha's teachings, he who gives food gives four things to those who receive it. He gives them long life, beauty, happiness, and strength. The donor himself will be endowed with long life, beauty, happiness, and strength wherever he is born, in the human or the deva world.
If you are steadfast in making merit during the rain retreat, you cannot afford to miss the international alms offering to 12,600 Buddhist monks at Hat Yai district of Songkhla province, Thailand, on this coming August 21st, 2011.
Susceptible as it may seem for those monks to still remain in the Buddhist community under constant threat, but they did so to protect the life of Buddhism. We cannot deny that these true monks are not our heroes that are worth an eminent field for sowing the seed of merit.
Yes, it made a great historical impression at last year's event when the number 3 street of Hat Yai district was overcrowded with Buddhist people, not only from Thailand but also from Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore.
Yes, and did you know, Fina, that during that weekend, a cash flow of over 200 million baht were generated in the marketplace?
Yes.
This event, initiated by Paraja Pavanavisuddh Luangpa Thamaschayo to support Buddhism in Hat Yai and nearby areas, has been held successfully for 7 consecutive years now. It shows the determination of the organizers and participants in supporting Buddhism as well.
Yes. And if you are one who benefited from the practice of Buddhism, you should foresee your presence at this year's event or else your contributions. Now, let's direct your mind to the next interview. See you after this.
Sawasdee ka. I am Sananpon Rotjan, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to this special interview. If you have followed closely the news on the DMC channel of the Dhammakaya Foundation in the past year, you might have come across the name Kalmykia. Well, this autonomous state in the Russian Federation also happens to be the only Buddhist state in all of Europe, and its first president, Kyrgyzstan Ilumshinov's visit to the Dhammakaya temple last year marked the first step in the collaboration between the two countries on sustainable peace development. And today, we are honored to have with us Venerable Pasarat Kantamano from the International Affairs Department, who has been the main coordinator of various peace projects between the two nations, to provide us more insights on the matter. So please join me in welcoming him. Namaskaran, Sokha. First of all, can you share with us the backgrounds on the state of Kalmykia?
Kalmykia may be known these days as the state in Europe. In fact, Kalmykia history dated back all the way to the Mongol Empire, which is about 700 years ago. Back in the time when Genghis Khan and his relatives expanded the Mongol Empire to Europe. A group of Mongol people decided to settle down in this area between the Black Sea and Caspian Sea. So later on, they're slowly becoming more so-called Kalmyk people because there is one of the tribe belongs to the Mongolian Empire. And from that onward, they slowly mix the culture of Mongol with the culture of Eastern Europe and Russia. So the Kalmykia today, as we know, may look very European, while the people look very Asian. If you walk into the country, you may be very surprised to see how the Mongol people who have black hair look very Chinese, speak fluent Russian, and act very European. Not only that, they brought with them the Asian culture, Asian civilization, or the Mongol culture. They also brought with them Tibetan Buddhism, which is the form of Buddhism that Genghis Khan and Kublai Khan adopted to be the main religion. So Kalmykia for the last 700 years in the history has become Buddhist state, where the Tibetan Buddhism is the dominated religion for the people, up until the beginning of Cold War, when the people of Kalmykia were deported into Siberia. So the country as it is has been completely destroyed, and people were scattered throughout places in Siberia for about 20 years. Yes. Until finally the government decided the Kalmyk people has done nothing wrong in supporting of the World War. So the Kalmyk people returned to their state again in this area. Nonetheless, during the time of communism, Buddhism was completely wiped out from the history of Kalmykia. So they have to restart or revive everything from nothing at all. So only 20 years ago, when His Holiness the Dalai Lama visited Kalmykia for the first time, he brought with him a young Lama who is the Kalmyk born in America. That time, this young Lama studied in India. So because he's the only Kalmyk who studied in India, so he has a chance to follow His Holiness the Dalai Lama to Kalmykia. And after that, the Dalai Lama designated to be the chief monk of the Kalmyk in the mission for the revival of Buddhism. So only that time, a bit over 20 years ago, that Buddhism was restored once again in the land of Kalmykia. The first president, Khesan Ilimchinov, has played a very crucial role in helping in this mission of the revival of Buddhism in Kalmykia, because he has been one of the main contributors in building temple, not only in the Elista, which is the capital city, but also to various cities in Kalmykia, and also slowly developed the number of the lamas who has been sent to study in India in order to have more knowledge about Buddhism before returning to their homeland. What is so impressive about the people is that even though Buddhism has been completely lost in the history, there is a big gap. When Buddhism doesn't exist, there's no temple, there was no monk at all. But whenever they have a chance to revive Buddhism, the people of Kalmyk immediately recognize that they are Buddhist. Even they know very little, exists only in the history or the word of mouth from their ancestor, but somehow they took Buddhism back immediately. Yes. And declare themselves as a Buddhist. So when everything is restored, they come together. There was a huge temple in the middle of the city, in the middle of the capital city, Elista. It's one of the biggest temples in Europe, actually.
Yes, I understand that it took a very short time to complete.
Exactly, and the construction finished within a year, within less than a year, because of Khesan Ilimchinov. He has been one of the main supporters, not only financially, politically. He gave the role of the monks to take part in giving guidance to the government in order to legislate certain kind of rules of law, so that the people can mix their culture, their religions into the way of life.
Yes, and what would you say led him to our country and to the Dhammakaya temple?
At first, he was invited to visit the Dhammakaya temple on the Vista main assembly day last December, where 1 million students who have been undergoing the 3-month self-development program, then joined together at the Dhammakaya temple. He was invited to deliver the speech to the students. When he arrived at the temple, what he witnessed for himself is that these 1 million students can be trained with meditation, which somehow seems to be a myth of people, seems to be something that belongs to the monk or something that's forbidden to study. But when he saw elementary students, even high school students, can sit quietly in meditation, so he started to see how these students can be so disciplined. And it is because the training along the 3 months enabled them to be more modest, more disciplined. And also meditation can help them be more calm. So that's what got him to be interested in establishing the collaboration between the Dhammakaya Foundation and the Sangha, and also the Kalmyk government.
And can you share with us what has come out of the collaborations that you have been working on?
So after that, the Bagai Foundation sent a group of delegates in order to establish the connection between the two Sangha, since there was no existing relationship at all. So since then, after we extended part of the relationship with the Sangha over there, from the Kyrgyzstan side, he strongly support in selecting the young leaders who just a university student newly graduated, and not only just a regular student, but also select the best one out of the university to come into taking part of the so-called Buddhist Leadership Exchange Program, so that they will learn how Buddhist approach can help developing someone to be leader, but not only leaders in terms of working or in terms of school activities, but also leadership in terms of morality, in terms of ethics, and also in terms of sustainable peace and sustainable society. So that is what these leaders are looking for when they come to Thailand, and this relationship has been started to support that. And after this first group of selection has been brought to Thailand, that time there were about 30 of them who came for the first time. Mostly they're comics. Only a couple of them came from Moscow. So they start to learn about Buddhism, Buddhist approach in self-development, to start noticing that Buddhism is not only something existing in the book, but something that exists in the life. And they start to have more understanding, not that they are trying to learn about Theravada Buddhism, but they learn the lifestyle of a true Buddhist. How can Buddhists develop themselves to be a better person, then mix with their own culture and tradition. And this help them to, when they go back to the country, become a true leader and inspire the others. And because of this first pioneer group of the Buddhist Leadership Exchange Program, the second group was selected in order to enhance more collaboration, and also because of the impression that they got from this first group, helped the news spread around, and people start to be more interested into joining to the training. And not only that, the second group consists of the member from the Comic University or Comic itself. A number of participants were selected from MGMO, which is the International Relations Institute in Moscow, because first President Kyrgyzstan graduated from this institute. So because of this connection, he advertised this program, he promoted this program in it, and select among of these best students. 11 of them were selected to join in this second Buddhist Leadership Exchange Program. So in this time, not only Buddhist students, but there's also Christian and Jewish coming to learn about Buddhist leadership.
That's very good news indeed. And I remember you mentioning that they ask very interesting questions.
They are the young, bright, curious people who have been studying something about the world. And whenever anyone study about international relations, the first thing people look when they study it is to look for problems, to look for what's wrong with the world. So when they learn about this Buddhist leadership, the question that come across to them is that, how can we fix the world? How can we change the world? How can we make something different in this world? These problems slowly arise. So whenever in Buddhism we talk about, we always go back to ourselves first, as a first single unit before expanding to the other units, which is completely another approach from whatever they have been learning, even though they are the young, bright, brilliant students in their own institute, but they have not seen someone talking about this kind of approach before, like what happened in the Dhammagaya temple before. So they ask questions like, what is your opinion of the United Nations roles for peace? What would be your suggested approach for the humanitarian intervention for human security? Or what do you think is the performance of Secretary General Ban Ki-moon under this leadership? So these are the questions they kept asking. And the question that is given back to them is that first, before going out there in the world, trying to create peace, what is peace to you? Is the role of the United Nations right now is to make peace or to keep peace? Or does the United Nations itself has the right definition of peace? Because usually they're known as non-violence.
Right.
As long as there's no violence, then peace existed. So is that peace to you? When only 5% of population in one country consume 40% of energy that we use in the world, and the other part of the world is starved to death. Is that still calling peace as long as there's no violence? So what is wrong with this world? Then we have to come back to explore with ourselves. What's the problem with ourselves? We have to survive. That's what we have to do. In every human being in this world have to go through this one problem to survive. So everything that they learn, is to fix the problem of survival, to get better food, better house, better medicine. And after that, they have all this fulfillment physically. Then they will bound to have certain kind of conflicts within the society. So second things that we learn is to solve conflict between families, business partners, corporates, economics, law, political science. So these are the two things that people try to fix people. Everyone is trying to fix everyone. So when they start to realize that, actually we have to look inward to fix our problem first, then we know how to fix the other people's problem, not to try to fix the other people's problem while we can't resolve our own issues. So it is quite controversial, quite a twisting way of thinking for them, and make them very interested that Buddhism is not only about religion, where people go to the temple, to the chapel, and attend a ritual and go back home feeling I'm lucky today. But in fact, there are more things in life that even though they don't need to call themselves a Buddhist, but they can use the Buddhist wisdom in developing themselves to be a better human being, to be a dynamic force in changing this world to be a better place as they want it to be.
We recommend you to follow this interview again next week to know more about the World Fellowship of Buddhist Youth Organization, China.
There are 4 things conducive to the growth of wisdom: associating with a good person, hearing good Dhamma, maintaining the right attitude of mind, and leading a life in accordance with the Dhamma. Today, we are fortunate to have Venerable Dr. Pavitai kindly deliver the Buddhist Dhamma to your home through this DMC channel. All you have to do is open your mind, listen carefully, and put it into practice in order to receive the benefit.
Jaren Pon, a member of Meditation for Peace program of the DMC channel. Today we will continue our long story of Kosaka. If you remember well, last time Kosaka was threatened by his father, the rich man, because the rich man know that he will become the next rich man of the city, and he didn't want to something like that happening, and he tried to kill Kosaka. But once he tried, by the way, to ask Kosaka to go to Potter house, and Kosaka have asked to be replaced by his brother, who is the real son of the rich man, and then he was killed. And when the Kosaka come back to the house evening, and the rich man asked him where is his real son, his brother of Kosaka. He said that brother worked instead of me, and that time the rich man become crazy. He is so sad. He's become shocked, and then he try to to run to see his friend and to stop. He don't want him to kill his real son. And when he arrived, the potter report to him, okay, everything you asked me, finish, accomplish. And then it become like the big mistake of the rich man. And you know that to do bad, to do hurt the people, or do bad deed to the people who don't do bad deed to the other, who who is innocent, who has a pure mind. The one who try to do like that, we have a very strong consequences. It can be suffering, and he can have the way down of life, and then can be die, can be sick or crazy, and then can have conflict with the king, or a problem with his relatives, and can be accused by the public, and lost some property, and then after that death can go to hell. It's like a fire happen from the forest, and can burn the house. So that the big and the important consequence for the bad deed, that we try to do any bad thing for the people who who do not who has nothing wrong. So be careful, don't try to do any bad deed to the other, especially the one who's pure, especially for priest, for monk, or the one who take precepts, should be very much careful. And later, the rich man is still sad, angry, and he's still trying to kill the Kosaka. And one day he tried to plan another way, and then he write a letter, and then ask the Kosaka to show this letter to one of his kind of a man who helped him to collect the tax. Somewhere far away from his home, and then you know that he don't look after quite well the Kosaka, so Kosaka cannot read. So he's a boy who has anything wrong to his father. He think that okay, maybe his father needs really help, and then he take that letter, and then in the letter he said that he write that if you you got this letter, my man, please kill the one who hold this letter, and I will give you very good a payment. And then the boy, and then the Kosaka asked to the rich man, Father, during the way, do you know where I can take the meal, because it's quite far away? And then said the rich man tell him that he know a friend, and asked him to stop that place. And then he continued to see his man, and to accomplish this plan. And then the Kosaka go to by the order, and stop at that house. And at that house, they have a daughter, the age around 15, 16. And then once the friend of rich man, they saw Kosaka, especially the wife, and they become in love with Kosaka, and they would like to take care very well of Kosaka. And then when the people come to prepare to work for the Kosaka, daughter know that something happened, because her servant come back to work for her late, quite late, and she asked her assistant. The assistant said that there was a man here, and she come from the rich man family, and he will walk to another, he will continue his travel. He just stop here for a while, and then just once the ladies listen about the name of Kosaka, this name come to her body and come into her heart and her bone, that she become in love immediately. What happened? Because this lady she was the wife of Kosaka many lifetime ago. If you remember well, the one life they walked together and they abandoned the child, and another life, that life too, when Kosaka passed away and reborn as dog, and herself he stayed in the family, and once she offered food to the individual Buddha. By that merit, she can become as a daughter of a rich man, because this family is rich too. And then she would like to know what happened to Kosaka, and asked the servant to observe. And then she tried. They know that he has a letter with him, and she tried to take the letter and read, because she has a good education, and she knows that it's a dangerous letter, because this letter asked the one who received to kill the one who holds this letter. And then she changed the letter, and she changed the word. It's become the new word. He said that if you get this letter, it means that I would like you to help me to do a marriage between this man and the daughter of another a friend family, herself, and then try to collect tax and help them to be married and build a house and protect them well, and give this letter, change the letter. And then Kosaka go to see the man who accumulate tax with this letter. And the man become very, very happy, because he know that he think that his rich man is so confident to him, trust to him, to ask him to do like this, and he do as the letters ask him to do, and send the news back to the rich man. And when rich man got the report, he become more sad, because he would like to kill, but now that man Kosaka can be married with a rich family and have a good fortune. So later the rich man become sick, more and more sick. And then the daughter, the lady, she's quite clever, and she stay with Kosaka. And they listen to the news of the rich man. And rich man, because he know that he will pass away one day, he doesn't want to give him any property, because for himself, Kosaka is something that he don't feel happy anytime he to know that he still exists. And he try to find the man to call Kosaka, because he wanted to call Kosaka back to his house and tell him that he would not give him any property. And the ladies, the wife, know that what should do. And then when she is the first one who received the message and asked what happened to the rich man. And the first one who arrived, he said that that's okay, he can still eating, and he just know and say nothing to her husband. And then rich man become more serious, because his status of health become worse and worse. So and then he take care very well the messenger not couldn't come back, and then he sent another messenger, and he asked the second messenger what happened to the rich man, one thing in, one thing out. It means anything he take and another thing come out, and then it's worse. Okay, then she still do nothing, and the rich man decided to send another one. Is the third messenger. Then third messenger arrived, one thing out and one thing in, and then it's a kind of meaning that now situation of health is very, very serious. And then she decided to go and tell her husband, okay, Kosaka, now your father, he's sick, very, very severe sick. We have to see him. And Kosaka decided, okay, we go together and try to take some present, something to offer to his father. And then they arrived to the house of the rich man. And the ladies, when they come to see the father of Kosaka, and asked Kosaka to stay in the feet side, she stay in the head side. And then at that time, the rich man he was so tired. He start to talk about his property first. I have this and that and this and that. And the last sentence normally he will say, I don't want to give this property to you. And then he start to say that word. I give, maybe the not is later, the last word he will say, and he say I give, and then the wife decide to cry and hit her head to the chest of the rich man, and rich man become die that time. So the word he say it's just like he has a lot of property and he give to his son Kosaka. So then Kosaka can become the heritage of our property. So then he has to present himself to the king. So then he left his house to see the king, and when he go, before he arrived to the palace, there's some water. He a kind of jump around over the water and to see king. And king said that now you can become the new rich man of the city. And he said, okay, thank you, I accept to be like that. And then, but when he returned, he walked different way. He did not jump anymore, and just walk a very good manner. And then the king called him back, asked him what happened. He said that before I arrived here, before I talk with you, I'm just a boy. But after I talk with you, I become a rich man of the city. I have some special status from the king, so I cannot do as before. So king become appreciate more and give him some property. And when the Kosaka go back to his home, once he travel in the city with his wife, and his wife laughed with the Kali, if you remember, the servant of the rich man. And she talked that it's herself who helped Kosaka to be rich man of the city. And then the Kosaka wonder why you laugh like that. He would like to know. She wouldn't say, but he threatened, like if not I will cut you with the sword. And she explained, and Kosaka he didn't believe, and then she explained and then show him like a Kali. No, Kali is the servant, and servant explained to him, yes, that's right. The rich man tried to kill him many times. So now the Kosaka understand, oh, this is life and it's what happened to him. So he think that should be very careful to life. And from that day he decide to give donation every day for the people. So become a rich man who is generous and help a lot of the people of the city. There will be some history that happened later. So we have no more time today. So please follow me for the next week again, and to see together what happened to this story. And if you you follow well, you know that always the good deed help us, not only this life but forever, next life and next life until nirvana. So keep always to do good deed and be good example, good people of the world together. See you next time.
There is an analogy between a Buddhist life and a lotus. Various kinds of lotus grow in the water, develop in the water, rise above the water, and remain there unpolluted by the water. Also, we were born in this world, we grew up in this world, we developed in this world and rose high above it without being attached to it, without being affected by it. The Dhamma discourse, which you have just heard from Venerable Dr. Pavitai, aim to develop wisdom that allow you to live up to the standards of the Buddhist holy life. We hope that you appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. After we directed our minds to some confidence-inspiring objects such as recollection of the virtues of the Buddha, we would like to turn your mind to the recollection of your past good deeds in order for your mind to be pure and strong by the power of the merit.
Yes.
Please watch the Enlightened Living next.
Sawasdee-ha! My name is Veronica Barakina. I come from Moscow, Russia. 25 people from Kalmykian Republic and 11 people from Moscow came over to Thailand in order to participate in Buddhist Leadership Exchange Program Thailand, July 23rd, August 14. The program is organized in order to spread Buddhism teaching based on meditation, loving kindness meditation, spreading real peace all over the world. The program is supported by the head of Kalmykian Republic, Mr. Kirsam Ilumzhirov, Thai nobleman, Mr. Anand Atsao Pokin. Let's come closer to see what Real BLX program is about.
We are young people from Russia, full of imagination and energy. But instead of enjoying our life in our country like others do, we have decided to travel thousands of miles away from home to learn everything about Buddhism. Thailand is an exotic country which inspired us to spend 3 weeks in this amazing place, learning something we have never known before.
My name is Anna, I'm journalist, I'm reporter, and I'm very happy that I participate in BLX program. Before, I think that between Thailand and Russia Buddhism are different, but after 2 weeks study here, I didn't saw that isn't different. But in Russia we do bow all our body and read some mantras on Russia, on other language, but seems the same.
Buddhist monks are rare to see in our place, so during our time here, we are very pleased to listen to their teachings, observe their way of life, and practice Buddhist culture that has been maintained from the past until now.
My name is Alexander. I'm specializing in India and in the region of South Asia. And I've decided to come to Thailand to study Buddhism because this is East and my specialization is East. And I would like to come closer to this culture, to your customs, traditions.
I was amazed how religious Thai people are. Like, you know, they chant in the morning, in the evening, they meditate. They have such an incredible respect for monks. I think we, Western culture, have a lot to learn from you.
Hi Ksenia, could you please tell us about your most impressive activity that you did here and how can you comment on it?
One morning we were making soap bubbles and the weather was great, it was shiny and we were playing like children. We were so happy and you know, every activity here has its own idea. And the most important idea in this activity was to breathe in a proper way, to make more and more soap bubbles, and people felt themselves more and more happy because of this.
On one of the special days, we happily practiced the way of sharing by offering alms to monks early in the morning and cleaning the temple afterwards.
Самым большим впечатлением для меня было подношение еды монахам. В тот момент, когда мы делились с ними едой, давали им ее, и больше всего меня впечатлило и поразило то, как монахи, большое количество монахов, молились перед едой. Это было невероятно.
The highlight activity was held in the evening, when we all joined the floating lantern ceremony, which was such a surprise. So, now we will set up the same ceremony in our country. We hope that as many people as possible will join it and learn more about Buddhism. sure the most impressive activity was lighting up the lanterns in one of the temples. This activity was really amazing for me, and I think I will remember it all my life. So it was a group work, it was a teamwork, and we really had a sense of friendship, and we did it together.
Could you please tell us about your most impressive activity over here and what do you feel about it?
Well, okay, frankly speaking, everything was impressive because when you're in another country, everything seems so new and fantastic.
I think the most impressive activity that I've been done here is the play. We had to find some good qualities of our friends in our groups, and it was really helping to find the opposite, the positive side of this world, because sometimes we forget about it, and that would help us a lot in developing.
One of the most important and efficient benefits I have gained here is that we were taught to focus on ourselves, on our mind, and on our soul. It's really essential nowadays because if we understand ourselves better, we will understand other people better.
Together with learning Buddhist culture, the most beneficial experience is learning how to meditate, how to place our mind at the center of our body and make it still, which allows us to know real Buddhist teaching. This is the main goal of our journey. I sit relaxed, I sit calm and quiet, and I let go all my concerns and worries. So first of all, I visualize a crystal ball in the center of my body. And this crystal ball is bright and shiny. And I also have a mantra rising up, just like humming song in my mind. So a little bit later, this mantra repetition fades away. And there is only the image of a big crystal sphere in the center of my body. I feel that it spreads a lot of white, pure, and bright light all over the world. And I think that together with this light, I give my loving kindness to all the living beings on the planet.
Yeah, and now I see like a small Buddha inside of me. And I also see in the center of his body like a crystal ball. And it helps me to spread loving kindness to all beings. I feel in myself that I can do it, that I can help everybody, all beings, and I want to continue meditation practicing because it can really help not only me to understand myself better.
One of the most important missions of our visit to Thailand is to learn to set up the floating lantern ceremony to pay homage to Lord Buddha. This beautiful ceremony that is to be held in our country for the first time will let the Russians know more about Buddhism, which will help them find their way to inner peace and harmony. This will be the time for Buddhism to bloom, and this will become possible by the hands of youth.
Actually, I will keep meditating, I will keep practicing the meditation, and one of my key interests now is to open my meditation center in Moscow.
First of all, I want to tell about meditation to all my friends because it was to use it. It was doing, it was to practicing.
My name is Chingiz. I'm from Kalmykia. I'm 23. And I'm a participant of BLX1 program, and now I'm a mentor of BLX2, and I'm happy to be like this. After that, after BLX1 program, I came to Lumpur, and I've made a promise that I will stop smoking and drinking forever, that I will spread all these good parts to my friends.
แล้วโดยเฉพาะเมื่อกี้ที่เจงกิสบอกจะชวนเพื่อนเลิกเหล้าโอ้ดีมากจะดีมากเลยเจงกิสทำได้
And now, well, I can say that I can see more clear, I can look deeper, I can watch deeper, is to make kind of society over there in Kalmykia, youth society, to make all the people do good deeds. Well, I just want to wish, I just want to ask all your wishes come true, and I hope that everything that you've been thinking about here in Thailand, I think that your dreams will realize. Good luck to you guys. Hope to see you soon, maybe in BLX 3.
Our experience is extremely valuable. Even though we've got it in a very short period of time, we are ready to return to our motherland and apply all our knowledge in our everyday life and share it with other people.
Дружба начинается с улыбки, с голубого ручейка начинается река, ну а дружба начинается с улыбки.
During the Buddhist Leadership Exchange Program, we have learned so many beautiful things, such as the loving kindness meditation, spreading peace and kindness all over the world, training our minds in order to make them clear and obtain good habits. BLX program benefits a lot to Russian-Thai international relations. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to the BLX program, its founders, supporters, teaching monks, and organizing committee. They have worked all so hard during these 3 weeks in order to make us better people. ขอบคุณค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ
There are 6 things which appear very rarely in the world. Rare is the appearance in the world of a perfectly enlightened Buddha. Rare is the appearance of one who teaches Dhamma and Vinaya as proclaimed by the Buddha. Rare it is to be born in the land of Arya. Rare it is to be in the possession of unimpaired physical and mental faculties. Rare it is to be free from dumbness and stupidity. And rare it is to be endowed with a desire for doing good and wholesome things.
Thank you, Shana. When considering these facts, you should realize that you are one of the rare persons in this world. Use your fortune to benefit yourself and others. Be the Kalyanamit to all.
Rejoice and goodbye to you. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ